Did you relinquish the CEO role to Kelvin so that you can lepak a bit?
At that point in time, right, did you think that this guy is going to be my next CEO?
For certain, I don't make such a conclusion who will be my next CEO. Can I still run as a CEO for another 5 years? That would be the biggest mistake I would ever make. I never envy all the younger generation, whoever out there. I think their stress level is more than when I grew up. Why? Because of tech. Tech is double sword to my view. We terminated 2,800 salespeople in one go. I regret not doing it.
Earlier part of your day, you were much more fiercer, you were much more hot-head, but you have transitioned into cooler now. Is it a sign of
Aging. All the frustration, I take the phone, I smash. But before I smash, there are so many other words that come out lah. Yeah.
Dark Secrets of PropNex? Ismail getting disowned by his dad? Welcome to the episode of The Next Thing.
Hi, I'm Daryl.
This is Vic, and today we have a very special guest.
Hi, I'm Ismail Gafoor. No more the CEO of PropNex, still the executive chairman of the company.
Quick question. What is the one thing that you will not miss about being CEO? And similarly, what is the one thing that you will miss about being CEO?
I think the one thing I likely to miss about being a CEO is the mere fact that the people call me as the CEO. Now I'm not the CEO. So people will not address to where's the CEO, talk to the CEO. No, they won't. So I will definitely miss people not addressing me as the chief executive officer. And what I will not miss about being a CEO, people no need to bug me and ask me every time, ask the CEO. Because I'm not the CEO. So I for sure will have to get used to the new way people address me, executive chairman.
Have you noticed a change ever since you stepped down? Like people still call you boss, like whenever we see you in the office or whether it's outside.
Because the executive chairman is the big boss, after all. So whichever way, I've invested so many of my collection of my t-shirts, all written as boss. I cannot overnight just because I'm no more the CEO. It has got no value. I'm blessed that I'm the boss. But it's not that I'm the boss, I'm not the boss. Honestly, it is not what people call me. It is what and why people want to give me that due respect. And I honestly think all leaders have to earn it, regardless of your title or your appointment.
Have you noticed if anything has like changed since you stepped down?
We are truly passionate, myself, Kelvin Fong, and all the key management. And I'm not retired. I'm an executive chairman. There is a difference between a chairman and an executive chairman. And an executive chairman have to report to work 9 o'clock and he have to clock out the hours. Before he clock out, he have to clock in the hours that is paid a salary for. So my table are always full, but the focus will be different. So on that basis, I think things won't change hugely for me from my commitment, my effort, my time, but roles and responsibilities and certain focus things that I'm looking at for sure will change.
On that note, like you mentioned, you're not retired. So why not?
Why should? That's the next question.
So why you choose to
Why?
step down?
I think there are many reasons. People may not have understood this very well. I think for the last many years, ever since the company went listing in 2018, I was holding the portfolio of both. I was the chief executive officer and executive chairman. Is it the best thing? In a way, it's not the right thing. I won't say it's not the right or wrong. It is an acceptable norm. But how did we strengthen in terms of accountability is as a listed company, our board have got more independent directors. That means the independent directors can outvote me even though I'm holding on to the two portfolio. But now, the fact that I am no more the CEO, I'm the executive chairman, and the role of the CEO is being played by Kelvin Fong, there's obviously greater accountability. I think in a simple way to say, people used to say, own self do, own self check, right, meh? Because last time I'm the CEO and the thing, right? But because I'm responsible and accountable, therefore I think it's still okay, but I still had a board to check on me. But right now it is more segregated in the role of a CEO and a chairman. And I think this is a good thing for everyone.
So speaking of Kelvin Fong, what was your first impression of Kelvin Fong? When did you start to notice him?
That's a good question because you say when. Because I think Kelvin Fong have been with us for more than coming to 23 years. PropNex is 25 years. When Kelvin joined, I must be very honest, I did not notice him for the first few years because he's a very quiet worker. He tends to do things. He's a thinker. He reflects. He's not the extrovert type. He's not the one who wants to go out there on stage and garner for support and attention. But the fact that I started to notice just 5 years he's been in the company, something changed. He was adding huge amount of value to his team. And his team started to grow in the company, in PropNex. And then I said, hey, we used to have quarterly convention. Right now we are having it biannual. We also have quarterly recognition. But those days, I'm talking about 10 years ago, every quarter, every 3 months, we are back on either those days was Kallang Theatre, and then we had got many other places, for that matter, Star Vista. And I used to say, how come this someone is growing so fast in terms of his title and the size of the group? And they became quite dominant. And that's where I started to engage him more and align him. And I honestly think PropNex is blessed to have a leader like him and who's clear-minded in wanting to do more good for people. And that's where we came together.
In our previous episode, we spoke to KF and we asked him this question. Did you ever, when your group got so big, did you ever think of leaving? And he said he did, and he had a conversation with you about it. Do you remember much about that conversation?
For sure, as I said, the fear was both sides. Right? Even without you telling me this thing, I knew that. I mean, both of us. So obviously, it was in the interest of PropNex to take care of people who are good. And I do see value in him as an asset because mere fact as a leader who can grow at value add and his people respect him, I said, how about you being part of the management? As I said, this is where the fear on his part. What is he going to lose being in the management? But then, as I said, as we communicated more, then we both come to a similar conclusion. Whatever I'm doing is for the people. And whatever he was doing is also for the people. So how about both of us combining the effort to bring about a bigger value add to our people? So that's where the minds of two of us come narrowed to a clear objective, and we nail down all other aspects of it, and we never stop looking back or adding value to our people.
At that point in time, right, did you think that this guy is going to be my next CEO?
For certain, I don't make such a conclusion who will be my next CEO. But did I see potential in him? Yes.
What was it about him that gave you more assurance or confidence that?
You see, I mean, as I said that, people need to have some form of a leadership. And I always believe a leader need not be someone like myself. A leadership comes in different kind of trait. And I don't look at people who are charismatic, people who are able to talk eloquently, people who can just move people just through words and inspirational. They are good, they're charismatic, but not necessarily he or she will be the right fit to lead PropNex. And I dare say that. Then if you ask me a question, what it takes for someone to lead PropNex? He or she, the person. And I still say he or she because I can be gender neutral in this simply because I strongly believe in meritocracy. But what is the important ingredient of this person is the alignment of that person's core values to PropNex core values beyond 100%. I mean, it is not about self. It is not about him. it is not all glory about his ability, because it is at the end of the day a teamwork. And this person must be humble enough to know his weakness and his strength, to be able to work with the rest of the people to bring about greater value to everyone. And I felt Kelvin had that, because he acknowledged his not so strong point, and he also knew his strong point. And that's where over the 7 to 8 years, because I think in fact almost 10 years, he came into the management to be exposed in 2016. So exactly this is the 10th year he's working on it. And then when we went, before just go listing, he came on board the key management team. And then in 2023, he was appointed deputy CEO. So by that time, if you ask me, when was the clarity that he could be the CEO? I would say in the last 5 years. Not 2016, but 2020. And 2020 was definitely a period, because that was when the whole world, the global crisis of COVID, and he stood out because he changed the way the real estate business can be conducted through the Zoom, through the online, and he closed the first deal on the Zoom, and he went, I said, wow. So not only he is aligned with the values, he embraced tech, and he's younger than me for sure, and he understood, and he can add value. Then we groom him in terms of the other aspect of leadership, and he did well.
So speaking of alignment, I mean, we look at both of you, right? There's quite a huge difference in terms of character, in terms of personality. So between you and KF, right? What do you think, like, things that he has that you don't, that you have and he doesn't also?
My energy level can be very felt when I enter a room. That's me. I enjoy it. Exuberance of energy just flow. Actually, Kelvin has that too when he's on stage, when he starts to talk. His energy will just flow. But to me, for no reason at all time, it flows. Yeah.
That's true.
Yeah. And I can easily strike a conversation to a complete total stranger or new person who comes in. And I can put myself without any of rank or file or thing to just connect easily for the very first time. Kelvin is getting used to it, but he still probably, when he's familiar with you, he get connect very fast. If not, it takes some time. That was something that I felt that there's a difference between us. But as you say, character, I don't think we are hugely different, because characters are built through values, because our values are aligned. So our characters are about the same. But in terms of the way that we project our comfort are different. And that has got to do with the upbringing. And I think, Kelvin is only child of the family. So he grew up a lot more of the time solving the problem by himself. So he's a thinker. So he go deeper. So he spend time to find answers. For me, I grew up with 5 other siblings. And I've always have to fight to be heard. Hello, Ismail is here. And I'm in between. I'm the third. So I got 2 elder brothers, 2 younger brothers. So from young, I have to be more expressive in every environment. One of the, for sure, his strength now here is this. He's more tech savvy than me lah. Ayo, tech can stress me. Yeah.
We just heard about an hour ago that
Yeah.
it took you a while to switch to using an iPhone
Smartphone.
or smartphone.
Yeah. So I find it, I'm more comfortable with things that, because I don't want to complicate my life. Yeah. I mean, the best moments of life to me are my childhood days. Ayo, that's good one, because I'm not saying that these days children are not happy, but I think I honestly know, looking at my children growing up, and I never envy all the younger generation, whoever out there. I think their stress level is more than when I grew up. Why? Because of tech. Tech is double sword to my view. Tech can be so efficient and effective, but tech can put you to compete at a fast speed that not everybody can keep pace. I give an example. You see, those days when we started the real estate business, almost every agent have a similar ritual. Wake up, get a copy of Classified, and the Classified 40, 50 pages. And what is our ritual? We don't even get like crayon kind of a thing. Those days got the kind of a pen which you can just pull a little bit of a string, you remove, and the tip will
Got the
come.
paper.
The paper. And that's something that I carry. You know why? I look at the classified, circle. My client want, let's say 5 room, and you should. I look at all the 5 room, circle. These are the one, probably this high floor, this one. And then start calling. Sounds archaic now, but that was the mode of operandi of those days, right? But today, no. Today, a customer call you, you need everything. Not somebody else is going to fill the gap. So can you imagine the pressure and the level of competition right now because of tech? And those days, you don't want to talk to people. You go to your cave and you shut your door. Nobody can come to the cave because they cannot reach you. Today, you go to whichever cave, even the cave cannot get signal. It's your fault. Why are you in a cave where there is no signals? That means you choose to hide. You can't. So today you can be on leave, you can be on holiday. If you are in a responsible role and appointment, and especially if you are even a salesperson, the client expect you to respond. But life now is, I can think, can be a bit more stressful with people who don't know how to manage.
That's why our salesperson quite lucky to have investment suite, right? Because whatever demands they have right now, a few clicks only, guys. Investment suite. So anyway, moving on, talking about how life is a bit more stressful than the past now. So honestly, did you relinquish the CEO role to Kelvin so that you can lepak a bit?
No leh.
So no lepak at all.
Zero lepak.
Still chong.
More chong.
But the question lies here. So Kelvin as CEO, does he have the final say?
Yes, he has the final say. How we have, and we have spoken this many times between Kelvin and me, we know how we want to run the business. Put us this way a question. Can I still run as a CEO for another 5 years? Do I have what it takes? Do I have the energy? Why not? But that would be the biggest mistake I would ever make. I tell you, very clear reason. To me, a leader is one who is able to pass the baton to the next person, step aside at the right moment, and look at that person leading a team, running a relay, smashing your record that you did as a leader. If not, you are holding on everything to yourself. And you have to accept, a day will come, even though how strong you are, you may not be able to compete. When I take too long to hand over, what will happen? Say I hold on for another 10 years. Kelvin will also become probably jaded by that time. And at that time, he may probably turn back and ask me, since you like to hold on and keep so long, you keep. I want to retire. Because my children has grown up. Isn't that so silly of me? Just because of my ego, because of my desire, because I am good. No, I shouldn't. My initial desire was to hand over to Kelvin when I turned 60 and when Kelvin was 48. That was what I wanted. But I didn't even express it to him because I don't want to put pressure on him. Because I want him to be a 48-year-old, young, energetic. And he said, yeah, he can do it. And I said, I'm 60. But I couldn't execute that for a couple of reasons. The COVID definitely delayed many things. Because, the way the industry moved was different. So I needed a little bit more time to understand the dynamic. Then I felt fine. 62. Kelvin is just nice 50. And 50 is still a prime age of maturity. Someone to lead the largest listed Fortune 500 Southeast Asia company. A person who's 50 with 23 years of experience, almost half his life. How can he not be good enough? And that's why I said, yes, this is the time.
On our 25th anniversary, right, when you announced to everybody, your first announcement was it probably at the press conference and all? When you let everybody know, did your hearts sink a bit?
No, actually I never. But I think on stage, when I gave a speech, without me realizing, it's not my heart sink because of fear or whatever. Where even my press conference, everything. Because I was there, maybe it's because I saw the a very emotional, touching video of 20 minutes that we did. Without me realizing, my voice cracked a bit.
After 25 years, ladies and gentlemen, I've decided to step down as your CEO.
And my children, Norisha and Natasha, both teared when I said that. Because they've seen the father being the CEO of PropNex. Who's your daddy CEO? And because when the dad is on stage saying that, they told me after that, Terry, you don't know why. Maybe because it is me, my voice, that slight crack. But I regained within 5 seconds or 3 seconds. Because I know this is for the good of the organization. This is the good. But it's a happy occasion. Immediately that one moment was all it takes to flush out of my system. There's no regret about what I'm doing.
Speaking of your children, at what point did you break the news to them and how did they react?
More or less, they knew it is coming. It was not so sudden. But because as a listed company, we don't go and express when is the exact date and so on. Closer towards the date. So they were also very hopeful. They always ask this question. So Daddy, does that mean we can travel more? You can travel more? I say, let's see. Yeah, let's see how we can do that. But I think they are really happy. My children, I'm so blessed that because my children are very, very supportive. They grew up where the daddy wasn't always there for them for every occasion. Other than PropNex, I served the army for a good 37 years. So I'm always on the go. So I'm thankful that they understood whatever I'm doing is for a bigger call.
In the past 25 years as CEO, were there any regrets, things you wanted to do and maybe not achieve? Because we have seen how successful PropNex is today. We have seen the success stories. We have heard so much about how our agents are empowered, how our staff here, we all love the culture. We love everything being in PropNex. You really have to be here to experience it. But were there any regrets that you wish you could have done in the last 25 years?
You see, I live in a life that I don't want to carry regrets. Because I always feel that when you carry any form of regret, it on your shoulders or even in your mind, it weigh you down. And then you can't continue to spread the love and the energy. Small hurdles, small little mistake, if you can U-turn back or any of those things, may still be there. I've shared this in my book, right? I mean, maybe I can talk about the book later. But there was in year 2008 that we terminated 2,800 salespeople in one go because I was so crystal clear and firm. If you don't take this, support the initiative of professional indemnity insurance because we want to shout to the world that we want to protect the consumers, I will terminate you. Yeah. And we still did that. Yeah. So on a hindsight, could I have been more accommodating? Could I have got more town hall meetings? Should I give them a little bit more leeway without terminating all the people? I could have. Is it a regret? I don't see a regret. Could I have done better in some of these decisions? For sure, I could have done certain things right. Or even whether did I decided to close a particular department just because I want to realign and focus. But these are decisions any leaders will have to make, right or wrong. You will never know. Only when you put into a motion, then you will see the outcome. I may not have answered your questions truly because I choose to live my life. Whatever mistakes I make, I want to find solutions. But I will never dwell on it and say, I regret not doing this.
No, but I think you have answered me because what you gave me today is a kind of way to look at things, right? Do not let these regrets hold you back. So, but I also know in these 25 years, hearing the stories from Baini, we understand the earlier part of your day, you were much more fiercer, you were much more hot-head, but you have transitioned into cooler now. Is it a sign of...
Aging.
No, I want to say wisdom. Is it a sign of wisdom,
Yeah.
Talk about this transition.
No, I think for sure many things has changed, for sure. Because I'm a very driven person. I will not accept a first no from anyone. But that doesn't mean I shut my mind unreasonable. People have to convince me. No, I mean, when I say no, Either way it works. Even a superior authority tell me a no, I will only accept why is the no until I'm convinced that yes, there's a valid reason. When I was younger, I think there are many instances when I made a decision to move something and people don't support, I say I'm fine, I will do it. My answer is simple, I will do it. I'll get another person to support me. So nobody can hold me at ransom because he or she is not willing to do it. Because I think leadership is also like that. As long as you're prepared to roll up your sleeve and get dirty, then the people around you will do. Because I'm not expecting someone to do something that I am not capable of doing it. Or I'm not expecting someone to do something that it is unreasonably not achievable. But you see, a lot of us have got this limiting belief and a ceiling that we think is not possible. Small thing. Even I ever remember when we had a dinner and dance, and I said, let's make all the 1,000 people come within this space and we do a group photo. And the host says that it's too small, it's small. Your tables are tight. I said, we do it. And when he did it, he said, wow, we can do it. So you see, to me, we shouldn't accept a first no. So when I was, as you said, younger, a little bit more, my blood flow was faster lah. And there's a reason also. Because, as I said, I was serving my national service, right? Imagine running a company, going to the army, and those days I was, as a battalion commander, having my ATAC exercise, having my overseas mission exercise, multiple countries, I brought my battalion along. Then you come back, I do my company, whatever challenges. Then next year, go back as a brigade exercise. Planning, and in the army, we want to achieve the most toughest mission. And we execute it. And you come back from a mission with all the hype that everything is possible. Then how can you come back to office? Commercially, it's not possible. So my mind don't allow that it's not possible. So that's something that... but at the same time, my frustration, I normally don't throw it at people. I throw it at myself. I think a couple of incidents have happened. One for sure, my PA have experienced that is because those days I carry Nokia phone. So, and my angry here is, it has got to do with the Celcom support. So happened my room, the reception is not good. Sometimes yes, sometimes not so effective. I'm talking about 10 years ago before the 5G and the 4G. Okay. You have got so many things to do. Everybody calling, making decisions. You can't hear the conversation. And then somebody's stressing, somebody's screaming. My room was like a clinic, people outside in queue, my PA will say. I said, okay, let me settle one. All the frustration, I take the phone, I smash. But before I smash, there's so many other words that come out lah. Yeah. I said, I just need a moment. No. But I think my PA, she always had spare phones. No less than 2 of the similar phone she buy and she will come, she take the SIM card, she will put there. She won't talk to me. I said, I don't know. But half an hour later, I'm like that. It wouldn't take too long. It's just that I put too much demand on myself. So that's where that it is stresses me. I think things also got changes because I did attended a course in 2016. I think people have known. I've written in my book, I attended this psychology course conducted by some Taiwanese teacher, and I can give super credit to both of them. They make me see the softer side of me. They make me realize, Ismail, yes, you are a go-getter, but pause a moment. Look at things around you. Look at yourself. Are you loving enough of yourself? You are giving love to so many people. Have you ever pondered how much do you love yourself? That was truly a paradigm shift for me. It was a reset. I'll give you an example. The course was a couple of days. Made me reflect a lot more things. How much love have I given to my mom and dad? Wow, that was like, hey, I'm driving and I'm pushing so many things. Have I spent time to people who matters most? This was something during the course. It came about. And somebody asked me this question, Ismail, if you prioritize yourself, your family, your career, what would be the order of ranking would you do at this stage of your life? It's a very easy answer to answer for anyone. And I said at that time, family, career, and self. And the person asked me, why you put self last and why family? And then the person probed me further. You said family. What are all about family you talk? Then I realized, actually, I said family, but I've really not spent enough time with my mom, my dad, even my children or my spouse. So family is a brain trigger answer. Deep in, I wasn't so connected. So what was I doing? My career. But why career? I don't want to go into my childhood or whatever it is. But the career gave me the validation that people love and show me love. And I was just looking for love where I enjoyed the work and I also enjoyed the validation, and I continued to immerse myself 24/7. So what I said is not what I'm connected to. Until it took me some time to say, hey, no, this order is wrong. I need to love myself. So when I love myself, I can continue to give more love to people. And I need to love my family, my parents, my mom, my dad, my children, my spouse. These are the people who are there for you day and night, championing and cheering you. Because I love myself, I go back home, I receive more love and I give more love. I come back every day full of energy to give more love to the people around me and the business. And that's how things shifted.
My last question for you here for this section is, and what kind of legacy do you want to leave when you are totally out of this business?
The day when I'm no more on earth and I'm together with the Almighty bringing me to the space, because I'm absolutely sure He sent me with a purpose and to add greater value to the people around me. And I 100% accept whichever day He called me. No regrets. If it's meant to be tomorrow, I accept. Because He's the ultimate, and I accept. And I don't have regret. And if the day when that happened, I just want people who are around me, no need to praise me, but at least when they have that, close their eyes, that moment they reflect, this guy contributed for the well-being of people around him, and I benefited in some way, or the industry has benefited. I think he's a good man. That's enough for me. And that's the biggest thing that I can leave behind. Not a building by my name, not something whatever it is. And if I, during my lifetime, can spread these values to the people around me, I think I want to emulate some of the good things, not all. And I want to do the same thing to make a difference in the life of people. Wow, that's the legacy that nobody can take away. Because it is something in motion and it will only continue to grow and spread.
When PropNex was formed, right, were there any other shortlisted names before you guys came to the name PropNex?
After one of the big sagas, we decided to destroy PropNex name. Restart all over again. I used to read out the latecomer's name.
Yes.
Were you part of it? Army gave me a way how to use my creative brain to beat the system every time.
I understand that your wife is very instrumental in being many things to you in your life.
Sometimes I may even think that she's not even thinking rationally. I say, hey, hello, you talking okay no? I'm in a meeting
Getting together or being together or getting married to your wife, it caused a period where you...
I mean, simply my father disowned me lah.